Hi, Aries. Ooh. Knight of Cups. So, is there some love offers? Are you popular? You don't feel popular. You feel like hiding. Uranus is back again. What do you want? It's like exhuming the body, like years after. You destroyed everything and then left. So stay gone now, please. Like, what is this trying to come back with reparations? What happened in 2012? What happened that made your world go totally upside down? And now here we are. Another look at why it happened. I know, in my own life, whoa, I couldn't see it until last week. Why did the last, since 2011, 2012, why did it have to go the way it went? I don't understand. And then all of a sudden it made perfect sense. It's exactly the time it was going to take, no matter what. Three of Pentacles, the card of stable relationships and marriage. If you are thinking about loving on a water sign, it's looking very promising, but let it come to you. Do not chase. Move if you must, but understand that you're just running on a hamster wheel and do not chase. Good, moving along. So, Knight of Cups and Three of Pentacles also is about opportunity. Artistic and creative opportunity, opportunities for love for sure, but also just more recognition. If you have been diligently working away at something, you're starting to feel like, okay, now I'm starting to earn what I deserve, or now my name is beginning to be recognized. You're feeling good. You're feeling good. Anxious because you want that Knight of Cups, you just want it like right now. But you must focus on what you do best, which is being you and working and doing all those things. You need to focus. You need to focus on all of that because the Knight of Cups wants to come to you. You can't chase the Knight of Cups. It'll run away. So instead, your advice, Eight of Pentacles, is to diligently stay where you are doing what you do. Page of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, 10 of Wands. If you do so, you will be receiving messages. You will be making more money and getting more work opportunities. And there's a very good chance that one of them will be a long-term something or other. Then, Five of Swords, Four of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. Of course, there is, because of the Uranus retrograde, there is a bit of sadness here, for sure. There is a not even wanting to look at it. That I don't think has ever happened to me before. Okay. Really not wanting to look at it. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean, why? What's the point? But Uranus wants to look at it. I'm telling you, it's like exhuming the body. Like, okay, we get it. Why do I need to think about this again? Why do I need it coming up in my mind right now? Like, I'm so over this. I couldn't be more over this. But you have to see this retrospective energy for what it is. It's a huge gift. And what is it for? It's to teach you what never to do again. Moving forward, when you get this huge opportunity, you want to be clear on why things didn't work out the time before, whether it was a friendship, something that was going on with your health, something that's going on with a guy or a girl or whoever, especially if it was an earth sign that's been communicating a lot. Okay, why do we need to look at it again? Because every frequency holds information. We can't be the judge of why we are at a certain frequency for as long as we are. We're gathering information from it. So now we're going back to a certain frequency just for a couple of months. And what is it for? Aries is like, no, I can't do this for another couple of months. I did it for like so many years. Like, no, I can't, not another, I did it for 7 years, I'm not doing it for 3 more months, but you have to. And so, of course, Eight of Pentacles, focus on work, but also focus on the future, right? But also stop focusing on the past, but then there's this retrograde, and it's like, but all it wants me to do is focus on the past, right? But you have to focus on it in so far as it is a learning tool for the present, not this is what happened and I'm still holding a grudge, or I'm still angry, or I still want revenge, or don't get caught up in all the same emotions. Realize that there's a certain amount of information within that frequency that you were getting for those 7 years, and perhaps now with a little bit of distance, you get to go back, you get to re-experience that frequency, and perhaps that information is now processed in a different way. So what I can liken this to is when you read a book that you love, and then you know, go back, let's say 10 years later, and you've grown 10 years, just psychologically, physically, everything, you know, has changed, and you go back and you read this book and you're like, wow, I never got this before. I never got this before. I didn't even realize this book had this additional nuance, blah, blah, blah. So in the same way, because you've grown that information, the way a book will change, even though it is stayed exactly the same, it's just showing you where you've changed. Now, the perspective you will have on that 7 years is something you could not have had before Uranus moved. You needed the distance to just be able to see it, and now Uranus comes back and sits with you and goes, did you see it? Are you seeing what's happening? Did you see why what was going on for 7 years was going on? Do you see what we were doing? And by the time we leave November, I feel like you have gone through, once again, processing it, but processing it with some safe distance and with some additional, you know, value and sense of self going on, new love coming in. And you are able to see how those lessons, how else would you have learned them? They were so important, and they've shaped who you are. And yes, not all of it has been perfect and jolly, but I think we like who we are right now. And I think we like who we've become, despite or perhaps because of what Uranus was doing. So there it is. It wanted to disrupt. It did so very much. Now it comes back and shows you, look what I was actually doing. You thought I was just causing disruption for no reason, like just being crazy. But I had a very, very clear reasoning to get you out of other people's opinions of you and into your own space where you decide your value and worth, and you never look outside for it again. And if that lesson has been a very difficult one, if you feel like the universe has dragged you down that road of knowing, good. Doesn't matter how you get there, you need to get there. Let go or be dragged, but you're going. So you will feel a little bit of that. 5 of Swords, 4 of Cups, middle of the month. Like, this is not, I don't know how to let go, and I'm definitely being dragged. The easiest advice I can give you for this period is that when you do start to feel like you are being dragged and you really don't feel like you can let go, take a moment to be really grateful that you're alive, that you're breathing, and that just for a moment you don't take that for granted. Pull yourself out of your panic, because you know Uranus does that. You've lived with it for so many years. You know how all of a sudden you can work yourself up. Take a step outside of it and just know that you're good, and that all of these externalities, no matter what they are, no matter how compelling they seem, no matter how much you feel like you need them, you don't. Right now, you have the sort of energy where you are going to attract from the information you are processing. So from the vibe you are processing, you can process Uranus back in your sign as, let's sit together, smart, wise, crazy teacher that you are, and show me your crazy ways and explain to me why this was all happening the way it was. Or you can see the crazy teacher come back in the room and start going nuts yourself and going, oh no, oh God, I can't do this anymore, I can't do this. In which case that teacher is going to decide you haven't learned anything, maybe make you go through it all over again. Wouldn't recommend it. But the 10 of Wands is so promising, and so is the Ace of Wands, and it's the kind of thing you need right now. You need to work and you need to focus. It's just too much about other people. You also have a lot of really good things that will begin now because some other restraints are ending. But it doesn't matter if they're ending if you can't let yourself go. Bottom of the deck is the Fool card. Look at here. If you don't let yourself go, it's just gonna drag you. And if you let yourself go, you won't be so lonely, even if you feel dragged. If you don't let yourself go, you're gonna get dragged anyway, but you'll be lonely the whole time. That sucks. Wanna look at these cards? All right, I'll be right back. Hi. Let's catch a little bit of that sunset and let's take a look at your cards. I know. It's like the person who wrecked the house and then you start rebuilding and then they come back. Way before they're ever supposed to come back. They said they'll be back in like 7 years, maybe. Maybe. You may never see them again. You may see them again when you're 80. But then they're back again without reason. But the way I like to think of it is like parallel parking. Sometimes you gotta, get out of the spot and then get back in the spot, right? That's what's happening here. And once Uranus hits the spot, it'll be gone. But it's gotta ring the bell first. It just has to. That's what it does. And I think the only part left where it really didn't shake everything to nothing, didn't just pulverize every standing structure, was perhaps in that core sense of self that you have. And now it sweet talks its way in there. See, because you know Uranus is destructive now. You know the game now. You're like, no thanks. You can I'm actually beginning to be able to predict where it's going to freeze because of what I'm saying. It comes in and sweet talks you. It does. Look how well you've done, and this was the reason for this, and that was the reason for that. Oh, you get it now. How cool. Good for you. And you start to feel a little bit comfortable. Like, hey, okay, the insight is cool. I'm really seeing things clearly. Even looking back at the past is, a huge opportunity right now. Okay, even being stuck on certain things is showing me how to be more brave. Okay, we're loving this. And then it gets to you, and then it shakes again. But this time it's going to shake the innermost you. That which you cannot do without has to go. And you will be the one to walk away from it. Yeah, it's going to make you do the work. And if you don't, you will be stuck. But you have until March. It's not going to let you go that easy. You got time. And if you do, you can have it all. Quite a choice. Destruction that leads to creation. How Scorpio season. I love you guys. You know this. I'll see you in December, and I'll see you in the extended that I'm going to do right now. So it's going to go quick. It's going to be a fast extended because I'm doing it right now, because I've noticed when I do them right after, they're quick, but all the info is there because it's so in the flow of having done it right now. Okay, so I'll see you in just a second. Love you.